Hello, I'm OTM Speaks. If you are new here, please like, subscribe, share, comment. I like comments. Today I want to talk about the plagiarism of no tax on tips by Kamala Harris. Kamala? Anyway, everyone knows that she stole Trump's idea of the no tax on tips policy when she went to Vegas. I wanna make this video on why it's bad posture, because I think people know that it's clear that she ripped it off, but I don't think they understand that no one knew about this. Even her team didn't know she was going to do this. So I want to share this. Actually, I'll play the video first that I made on it. It's a short one. It's very short. Let's do this first.
First time I've said this, and for those hotel workers and people that get tips, you're going to be very happy, because when I get to office, we are going to not charge taxes on tips, people making tips.
After telling the country that the 87,000 new IRS agents that they got through the, which one was it? Was it the Infrastructure Act? I think it was the Infrastructure Act. One of the acts that they did. They hired 87,000 IRS agents. They said they were going to use to track down people making $400,000 or more. They had nothing to do with you. Nothing at all. The IRS launched on their site how they were going to go after service workers making tips. And it says the IRS introduces new service industry tip reporting program. Now, of course, they're not going to phrase it in some kind of way. But what they're saying here is, hey, just so you guys know, we came up with a really good idea on how you can report your tips.
The yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the bill, as amended, is passed.
That's the act, the Inflation Reduction Act. I knew it was either the infrastructure bill or the Inflation Reduction Act. So to attack and get rid of inflation, they started targeting service workers, hospitality, anyone who gets tips, Uber drivers, people in Vegas, everyone in Vegas. So of course, when she went to Vegas, she came up with the idea, or someone on her team came up with the idea to go after what Trump was going after, which was a logical, very, very positive idea. Kamala cast the tie-breaking vote for the Inflation Reduction Act, which hired 87,000 IRS agents and then launched a tip reporting site. The Inflation Reduction Act changed a wide range of tax laws and provided funds to improve our services and technology to make tax filing easier for you. That's what it was all about. The whole time, that's what this was all about.
President, we will continue our fight for working families of America and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
So you see how it was reported first. Former President Donald Trump's vow to stop taxing tips would cost the federal government up to $250 billion over a decade, according to a nonpartisan watchdog group. It wasn't a nonpartisan group. But this was CBS News. And then you look at CBS News when she made her announcement. Vice President Kamala Harris is rolling out a new policy position saying she'll fight to end taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers. No mention of the $250 billion over 10 years from a nonpartisan watchdog group. So why am I bringing this up? Because the left didn't know this. She came up with this idea on the fly, or somebody very close pitched this idea to her, and she said, yes, that's a great idea. I'm going to do it. How do I know that? Well, the left said it. Let's see what the left said. Oh, I love this stuff. This says Harris blindsided Democrats with no tax on tips plan. So let's hear what they said.
Yeah, of course, the debate too coming up, which is kind of half interview and have verbal combat, which could present some difficulties for her and some opportunities for Trump and his campaign. But Harris has actually taken on a new campaign promise: no tax on tips, stealing a page directly out of Trump's playbook. And it may be one of the few areas where both candidates seem to agree right now. How did this strategy come about from the Harris campaign? And is this a direct play to Nevada voters, one of the last battleground states where she trails and where many work in the hospitality industry and rely on tips? Also, where did Democrats come in? Were they notified of this new plan?
So it doesn't seem like anybody was really notified of this new plan. I happened to be watching that speech as it took place, and everyone was quite surprised when she made this promise to exempt those workers from taxes on tips. The presumption is that it happened in a way that was intended to sort of neutralize any advantage that Trump could wring from his very similar proposal. And to your point, yes, it's absolutely of importance that she made this speech in Las Vegas. Obviously, Nevada, a battleground state, as you said, and one where the hospitality industry is obviously massive. A lot of workers there could be impacted by this proposal if it were to go through and become law.
So, no one knew. Vice President Harris blindsided Democrat lawmakers and progressive activists by endorsing the proposal first floated by former President Donald Trump to exempt tips from service and hospitality workers from taxes, an idea Democrats had previously criticized as bogus and a ploy for votes. So she jumped in and took that idea that they were already campaigning against. You saw what CBS said about it. $250 billion from an independent source. Okay. I love it. So what else does it say? It says, key Democratic lawmakers and progressive activists have raised serious concerns about the substance of the proposal to shield tipped income from taxation, worrying that it would leave out many lower and middle income workers who are just as deserving of tax relief, but don't work for tips. We're talking equity here. Policy experts also question how such a proposal could be drafted without having major impacts on the economic behavior, potentially costing the federal government more than $100 billion to $200 billion. It is currently projected to add to the national debt over the next 10 years. Another criticism from the left is that employers could use tax-free tips as an excuse to not raise base level wages. Well, minimum wage. We gotta stay fair here. And could even prompt some businesses to become more aggressive in soliciting tips from customers in lieu of raising workers' hourly pay. One senior Democrat aide, this is somebody on her team, said, "I never saw this coming. I did not expect her to go on the tip wage thing. I did not see it as a serious proposal from Trump. It doesn't become a serious proposal now, just because their boss said it." Senior Democrats from the Senate Finance Committee and House and Ways and Means Committee, which have primary jurisdiction over the tax code, criticized the proposal when Trump first floated the meetings with GOP lawmakers in June. Trump told Republican senators he got the idea from a waitress he met. This is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. She stole the idea, and now she's running with it, and Democrats are having a fit because they don't like the idea. They never liked the idea. It was something they were mocking. It was a stunt. It was a ploy. It's a joke. It's Trump. He sucks. He's evil. Now, Kamala has to deal with it. This is one of the many reasons the left, they don't like Kamala Harris. They just don't like her. And doing stuff like this does not help her case with them. It just doesn't. If you're new here, please like, subscribe, share. I try to bring you guys information that you have not heard, or information that's going to come that you don't know about. That's what I do. Comment down below. What do you guys think of this? I think it's hilarious. She didn't just steal the idea. She stole the idea and didn't tell anybody. Oh, Kamala. Kamala?